lot of photography here, and the way we like to start out, we have 1 hour scheduled right now, which we call an operational photography review, and we will be looking at all the color pictures. And we'll go through them rather briefly because we only have 4 hours for a total session. And following the 70mm color photography, we'll go through the 16mm color photography. This then will be followed by a review of the lunar photography, and the people from the Mapping Science Laboratory have some prepared questions which they'll present to the crew, and they'll have photography to illustrate their questions. Is that right?
Very few frames.
Very few. Okay, and following the lunar surface photography review, we'll open the meeting up to a general observation and science discussion. So I know everyone's going to be very eager to ask questions as we go through the photography, but if you could hold the questions to the general science questions to the latter part of this meeting, I think it'll all flow more smoothly and we'll get the whole job done. With that, Dick, are you ready to start going through these? You want to go through these rather quickly?
Yeah.
And why don't you just stop us when you want to?
Okay. Let me bring out a point for everybody involved here. One of the reasons that we pushed for this high resolution color TV camera was the fact it was a good engineering tool. I don't know if many of you know all the details of what went into that camera or what it can do. But we had probably some of the best optics in the world. They were flown in from France. The color wheel came out of the CBS laboratories and was calibrated to so many angstrom. The Vidicon tube was one that was just released from a classified government project, and some of the sequencing came from a small corporation that you probably never heard of. Now, all the basic transmissions that were sent back were black and white. So there's high resolution black and white plus color. But we had the color wheel rotating on each sequence, and this was sequenced into the ground. So
600 lines.
600 lines per frame and 30 frames per second. And we're making analysis now from all this data that was received at Goldstone on a 210-foot dish, and putting the same type of color wheel back there, so I don't think we're going to doubt what we come up with respect to color on the lunar surface. I think particularly on that last day when after TEI we left the moon, we called it back to you. From what I can ascertain, I saw the tapes. The color there was exactly like John and I were describing it to. Again, you can take color film and develop it, make about any color you want to, but it's awful hard to fake any color. When I was calling it out, all I could see was what was in front of me, and you were seeing it down on the earth in real time. So as far as John and I are concerned, we're in complete agreement on what the color is up there. A lot of it in the old areas are light tan. You got whites, you got grays, you got browns, and at least 2 areas, this Mari area, that we suddenly saw when we climbed out. Because we've been going over the equator for all our passes, we suddenly saw this area that really stood out to us. We showed it to you in real time, and you saw it as soon as we did. In fact, you saw it better because we put the zoom lens on it.
These color films are really short.
These color films are really short. Okay, I guess each one, that's the Earth right after TEI. Dick Underwood knows more about geography by far than I do, so I'll let you have at it, Dick.
So the first one they took after TLI, and we're looking north toward the North Polar regions of Canada and across Alaska and that way. Common things. Hope this one works okay.
Tom, if you come across something you want in your press conference, holler and let me flag it.
Okay.
Well, I can get the numbers up here for him. Do that right now.
Well, why don't we have that one? I think we may have had this one or the next one, right there.
This one's a better shot.
I think we have a slide of that already made up that we have for the management debriefing, but let's make sure we have that slide for the press conference.
We want to look at some too, that we put on this big board.
Here was transposition or docking. Most of you saw this live in color when we.
A couple of those big blobs on there, maybe slop hounds that floated back in the distance. You can see there's a lot of debris around it.
Got flags.
Yeah, I was so.
15,000 miles or so.
Pictures that you see some
Okay.
typical of the moon.
Let's go to the next one.
Of docking or Snoopy.
Oh, look at that view. Is that the one we had a picture of yet?
We're doing something with TI.
Also, this is about the same time as your first TV.
Right after the first started, yes.
How far, could you flag that and tell us how far out we were?
Okay.
It's about, no.
Is that 70 millimeter or 250?
There's no way of telling what lens was on there, is there?
No, there's no flag in the camera that tells. All we can do is you shift it back and forth, we can tell where the terminator is and the size.
And then you can tell whether you shifted lens.
Yeah,
I guess that's a
we just made one shift, on the way out,
Yeah.
One of the things for future flights, I don't think we shifted over to the 250 quite soon enough.
What, did we shifted 100,000 miles, didn't we, going out, but we kept it longer coming
it's
through?
No, we
a
should-
lot sooner.
Well, John, you really did, because you had about 5 frames of Africa with 80 millimeter, but right at the middle of that thing, you switched to 250.
Okay.
The red area in the center is Mexico and southwestern United States. And going to the right, you go, well, the North Pole is at about 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can just see
Is most of that area the polar ice cap up there, Dick?
a lot of it looks like ice. You can see the outline of Greenland
Yeah.
quite clear, and Baffinland and several of the other islands. The outline of Hudson's Bay is real clear, plus the ice is breaking up in shallow water.
Is that right?
Real clear, the whole outline.
Can you see Newfoundland up in any of those?
Newfoundland just on the Terminator down is.
How you see all that, Dick? You take it and study it under a
Under a
microscope?
glass,
Yeah.
you can't see it by projection.
Can't you move that projector back just a little yet? It's awful small.
Automax, let me try here.
The one comment that we had, we didn't make it over the air, it said, looks like the San Andreas Fault hasn't let go yet.
The really clear thing to us was the San Joaquin Valley. I'll tell you, that thing really stands out from all the way to the moon.
Yeah, you can see that practically with the naked eye from the moon. Looks like someone took a big spoon and shoveled it out from Sacramento down to north of LA, and it's bordered on the sea by one end and on the by the snow-capped Sierras on the other end, and you can see the depth in the valley. You can see the three-dimensional depth in it.
Hey, Dick, are those all good lenses to help the image size?
We gotta get some of those pictures taken.
Just look at a small portion of the image. Just take it at the same time. And several hours later.
We should have shifted to the 250.
We did on the way back pretty much, except you got to.
You're really getting out there. We're looking at, well, the red area there is North Africa, the Sahara.
I think they had a series of 80s here, then they shifted to 250 at the same time, so just go to the 250 on this one, Dick.
I wish we'd shifted a little
Where we had the
sooner.
jet streams here?
Yeah, well, you did, John, right? You took about 4 here with 80, and then you shifted to the 250. Right after this one. There.
Oh, yeah.
Same picture, yeah.
Yeah, same picture,
See the
same
jet
time.
streams here running
Yeah.
across the Red Sea?
Let's, make sure we have that one.
Interconvergence zone.
blown up?
For printing, can we take that and blow it up?
Yeah, we'll blow it up to full.
They blow up pretty good, don't
I
they?
tell you, you can't see it right here, but you could see the whole of Spain. You can see Italy under the boot. You can see Bulgaria, Turkey, Sicily, Crete. And, boy, those things just stood up like a sore thumb to the naked eye through a monocular.
That's what you gave your weather report on, wasn't it?
That's the sequence we gave a weather report on while we're up there. I looked at it through the sextant, and God, it's beautiful. It's like looking at a map,
5,026.
except for the color. You almost felt sometimes like you're up there looking at a picture.
I think we ought to get one of these, blow it up, and autograph it and send it to the supporters of the flat Earth world.
You know what
Just an
Still only one left? Is that right?
They've been responded already, yeah.
They said those pictures only prove that they were right.
What their words were, Gene, is that it just goes to show how appearances can be deceiving to the untutored eye.
If you rotate it around.
We got a series of those.
Now, we used, by the way, we used the optical sight on this camera the whole time.
It was hard to center that 250. It's hard to get the thing right in the center of the photo, and
You only missed
maybe
it.
that's something that needs a little work. I don't know. It would be nice to have a sighting device close into that camera where you could sight down it and center it. You had to be very careful with that camera because you could end up pointing it and taking a picture of the hatch rail rather than anything outside the vehicle.
Handheld.
Same area.
Handheld.
Yes, all handheld.
This was one day later, same area.
Same area.
250, same area. Golly. Goes down fast. I tell you, we,
Shot them all.
And those windows stayed clear the whole flight. Boy,
Yeah,
that's
windows are
one of the reasons for the photography coming out so well, that those windows were beautiful on the spacecraft.
We just wanted to shoot one picture.
there's
show
a
you
couple out the window.
what Snoopy looked like right in front of us.
That was taking out the right-hand window of the command module at the lunar radar. Taking out the right-hand side window. Because that's what was looking us in the face all the time out that window.
Maybe there's some interesting studies that could be made of that. The urine wastewater dumps ended up putting specks all over the lunar module, and you could see very clear that they were sitting on. Also, the left-hand window had quite a bit of waste, obviously urine dumps. They were yellow in character, and that didn't seem to interfere in any way with the photography through that window. Left-hand hatch window.
Was it on the window?
On the outside of the window.
And did it remain constant or did they hop on?
No, they slowly spotted up the
Slowly
left-hand.
spotted up the left-hand window. Didn't seem to affect it.
One spot go down there and stayed there.
Yes, it appeared to. It might have been sublimating off. I guess it was.
Listen, there's so many dents in that limb skin that's just one of many.
In these photos, we're seeing an awful lot of them.
Yeah. I believe it.
I think that's interesting for the engineers to take a look at.
Because they ought to go through them all, because you can see almost like picks or something hit it, and they little ones and long square gouges like that. All of
What
them.
are you saying, we got hit by a few minor things?
No, it's probably done in construction, I guess, or putting it in the claw or something.
Oh, yeah.
Or done during boost.
Junk was flying around.
I might
They're all over the
mention,
thing.
engineering
Guys,
team
look at
studying
them.
these
Are they?
photographs will just these effects.
Great.
Is that right? Good, I'll get some data.
See another one, I just up in the window.
Yep. Now, I think there was a difference between F8 and F11 right there, because I did most of our vehicle is all F8, like recommended, and then I just changed for a comparison to see what F11 would look like.
Close in didn't seem to bother you. Far out, you got a lot of brightness off.
What's your second see those ones first? Just like look at the windows. You just maintain that gold silver sheet too.
We could see the moon on Route 2.
Just once or twice. It was so close to the sun and was such a
That's
sliver.
probably-
It was pretty
We had
well
a
lined
color
up.
back on and you shot right as we first came across the first terminator.
Where that is.
A little
About
overexposed.
three like that.
That, doggone, it's hard to tell where that
Hey,
is.
okay, now you lighten that color up a little bit, and that's what that old surface, this is all on the back side of the moon. You lighten that color up and that's what it looks like.
The funny thing about that was that when the sun angle was real low, the color stood out more. When you got in the Terminator, as you might expect, that
It washed out.
darn surface was so bright you could just barely stand to look at it. It looked like blacks and white.
You know, and it looks like some of those pictures are somewhat overexposed, like that last one back there. But like John says, that the sun has such a dynamic effect on the surface of the moon that's almost the way you see that subsolar area with the naked eye. It just seems to just blend and wash out the whole area.
You could barely stand to look at it all the way through the subsolar point. It just hurt your eyes. Just brilliant.
And it's hard to pick out definition with the naked eye, and that's sort of why it's hard to look at.
Okay, is that Neighbor up there?
Looks like it.
There's no greens in the moon, but again, that light tank shows
Sure
you
looks
about
like
4
it,
slides back, that was real close to.
There's the LM.
Yeah.
Snoopy outside.
You can tell there was some sun on the windows.
There's L Snoopy.
Okay, now, we feel that with a
That might
view
be
like
good
that,
one
you'd
going
be
up
able to
like
tell.
Yeah.
We feel with a view like that, you'd be able to tell whether the landing gear was down and locked without the spacecraft having to go
That might
through
be
the
a real good one to
360
blow up
degree
top.
yaw position.
Yeah.
Have you got these, are these marked if we want to flag any of these to look at more closely later? Can you?
Yeah, just
How about-
tell us what-
Okay,
Hey, how
how
about
about marking
circling back
one?
on that one that we said was close to the lunar surface? You wanna show that one?
They call it
Just sit back, I'm sorry, just, I forgot about flagging.
Tom, but you're better lunar surface, so when we're going away, if you line up some of those, when we're going away, we can see the
Right
whole
there.
moon.
Now that's, you think is,
That's close to it, and it's a little lighter.
A
than
little
that.
lighter than that.
Little-
but,
It's a little lighter than that, but that color is close to it.
Coming around, Dave.
5079.
You're going around, that's exactly what I would have said.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Light it up a little bit.
By golly, I tell you,
That's it.
lighten it up a little
Flag
bit.
this one?
Yep.
Okay, 5079.
Flag one of those good, decent pictures of Snoopy that's capable of being blown up.
Yeah, we want-
And I'd look down the line here, about 2 or 3 of them, I think you may find one. Maybe that one or the next one that's upside down.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
That looks to me like maybe you could blow it up a little bit, I don't know, and get a good, decent picture of Snoopy.
Well, I'd like to get that from the standpoint of being able to point out
5084, Bill.
to the crews that they can tell when the wheels are down and locked without going through a bunch of gyrations. It would take a lot of fuel.
There might be a better one right down the line here, I don't know. Maybe you can tell, Dick, on a basis of lighting.
Well, it's starting to rotate. Now, you're looking at the bottom of it,
Yeah.
the motor and all that better in this one. You're getting a better look at the landing gear in this photo.
Can you flag that one for us too? And we'll
What was
just,
the last number? Bill?
5084, 5085.
I've never seen those even up close.
Now you're getting a different aspect view.
Yeah.
We might want to pick out one of those too, if we can find out.
Yeah.
That one's awful dark in front. One of those others back there that was sort of up close.
Is there any way you could lighten that
Like something
one?
like that, Dick, or the one behind it. Can that be lightened up at all, do you think?
Yeah.
Can that? Why don't you flag that one, and we'll take a look at it too.
That's 86.
Would it bring out more detail when you line them up, Dick, or is it just not
Certain
there?
areas, and then the real highlight areas, it'll lose detail. So your best bet is to have a normal exposure and a light one, so you can go back.
I see.
Wait here. Get that one.
Like, in that one there, you can't even tell it's got a front landing gear on it, but it was there. You could see it very easily with a naked eye, and it's, the eyeball has a lot more range than those cameras. It's unfortunate. Those are too dark.
Yeah.
Too dark.
Okay, but you can get it, hold it right there, just, Dick. You can get you can get a contrast of what the Maria looks
That's
like.
Mare Crisium right there.
Yeah, you can get what the Maria is with the highlands. You
see,
lighten the whole thing up. The basic color texture is there, but you gotta lighten the whole thing
You can
up.
see Picard over there on the horizon there, that little hump sticking up. That's Picard, I'm pretty sure.
The original rack later than this thing is not
Oh.
very well.
Okay.
You know, a normal projector would have twice the wattage.
Okay.
You know, Mare Crisium
Oh, I
is
see what
really an evident structure. The relief, the hills come right up the edge of it, and it just flattens out. Just fantastic. I think one of the things that impressed us about the lunar surface is the relief. Boy, that thing is really up and down.
Is this for the 250 millimeter lens?
I don't think so. Could be, but I don't think so. We tried to avoid getting horizon very much.
Up on the piece one.
That's approaching the landing site 2 right there.
I think this would be a good one,
Is that the color you really see there?
Yes, sir.
That's pretty
close, except for the green.
except for the greens. That's pretty close to what that Maria looks like. It's a little chocolate.
It's approaching the subsolar point, and you can see the colors, and they're starting to wash out, and that's the way it does in the real world too. With a little eyeball, the colors there, but you just can't see it. I don't know.
Pardon me?
Isn't the landing site down the lower?
Yeah, down the lower part of it. There's Mulkey down at the bottom, and the landing site is about in the center on the bottom edge.
There's Sapien D.
That's the same picture right there.
There's the same.
The landing site's included in that down on the bottom edge.
Just a different f-stop.
There's Sabine E with Site 130.
Now, there's a little spot in there where you can see Snoopy. I can show you where it is.
That's right. That's
Little spot right here.
We got Snoopy?
yeah.
Right here.
Tom, and those
Holy
pictures,
smoly!
Snoopy was less than a mile because that's when I started taking pictures, and that shows you how that vehicle
Yeah, I'm
is
glad I
so
did.
small and it's be very difficult to observe to determine range rate. You just can't see. The vehicle is just so small.
I'm glad I didn't
But
see
you know, I thought I was
you
playing
saw.
close to start taking pictures.
Now we go.
How much you got? You saw it pretty clearly?
Very clearly in the eye.
There he is.
There he is.
That's Snoopy.
Good gravy. Now, we're 10 miles away from you?
No, you were less than a mile.
Less than a mile? How the hell are we gonna see Snoopy on the lunar surface?
You're
Well,
not.
you see it in the sextant.
In reflected sunlight.
Man, I'm glad I didn't see us from where you saw us. I might have been scared.
I thought it was really close in.
Gee, many Christmas.
Snoopy's going about 30, 32, 34 feet a second right here.
Tom, do you want to flag one of these to point out?
Huh?
Do you want to flag one of those? Snoopy?
Early ones, well, I don't know.
I don't know what the dickens
Not
to
much
do
to
with
see until you can, maybe, you can pick one here later down. It's small, but like maybe, where are we now?
Oh, boy.
I think it'd be worthwhile saying this is one that's only, what, you say, a mile away?
it. Less than a mile. 3/4 of a mile.
Did you take the picture?
I think we ought to
Yeah,
flag one of
yeah,
those
you
so
ought
they
to
can
look
see
very
what John saw, what John saw.
Yeah.
Let's look at, what's the next one then?
What's the next one?
Let's pick, there's one. Hey, how about that
Hey,
one?
if you flag that,
Yeah, that's
flag
on
that.
it. That's-
Hey, well, one thing about it, for that terrain down below, you should get some good stereo out of it.
Holy smoly.
506 Bill.
We really were small.
That's,
Of course, we never did see
saw
you.
that first one. I thought somebody did it, you know, with the emotion. Yeah, very.
Let's flag that one.
That's close.
This, okay.
200 feet?
Oh,
No, no,
No, but plenty close. I'd say less than,
Quarter mile,
no, a lot closer than
is
that.
that right?
Oh, yeah, shoot, yes.
no. You're
About
talking,
1,000 feet. No, you're talking 300 to 400 feet right there.
Snoopy isn't too big. You see that color down below now?
Yeah,
That's
I
close
agree
to
with
the
Tom.
color.
That's close.
That's damn close to what that color in that lunar surface looks like.
Sunset had a little more blues in
Let's take that one. Take that one.
Tom, they get better.
Well,
it. Yeah, you get better and closer, Tom. Well, we can flag them and still look at them after we.
But I like the color.
That's not the best.
We're starting to pitch over now.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're not either, I'm sorry.
and then this is the last.
Yeah,
area
that's
where you get
picture.
reflection on the window of surface.
Now,
You wanna go
it
back?
looks like he's about 50, 60, 70 feet away, but he's actually only about 10
Why don't
feet
you
out.
back up a little bit, see what we got. That's not. I saw one.
Just saw one.
I saw one that's better than those that shows
that
us
one for
upside down
sure.
against the lunar surface.
That one for sure is what we want. Yeah, there was one yesterday, that was
Probably this one.
slides
we-
and Jack picked out.
we
Blew it up or
really,
something?
Blew up a
Dropped it?
portion of it.
Okay.
That's what happened, you blew up a portion of
Yes,
it.
sir.
Okay, well maybe that's it then.
It's this one.
Yeah, you blew that one up and he's took a portion.
Why don't we flag that, or do we have it?
I think
We've got it.
we've got it up in those slides up
Yeah,
there.
that's the one they released the price.
Yeah, if you crop that, that'd probably look pretty good.
And these are the two closest ones.
Those are for engineering study. Okay.
There again, that's starting to look like the lunar surface. You really stop that down.
Brother, actually.
What the dickens is going on there?
Yeah, coal or slate.
That's terrible.
Some of this, you can look at the shadows, that was Terminator stuff.
We took a lot in the Terminators because the Terminator was so impressive, and but the light contrast is such that I'm sure that you're just going to see bright spots and black spots.
What about color of the Terminator? Was it colored?
I think it's more dark than.
No, it's just dark and,
It's just dark.
light reflected surface. It's hard to say that there's color in it at all. It's a real eerie, long, shadowy type.
Where the
Terminator.
Dickens is that? Looks like Smith Sea or somewhere.
See that old crater down there in the NARA?
Keeping track of all these.
There's the same
Hey,
picture. We
look-
ought to be able to find that.
That's a pretty one.
That's real pretty.
Let's flag that one.
Where is it?
We ought to be able to find out. Let me see.
That's not Langren's over there in the background.
No, that's not Language.
Deeper maybe?
That's more like Nieper right there.
More like an-
Matter of fact, I bet that is Nieper.
5113.
I bet that is
The
Nieper.
orbiter photography shows Nieper as a very indistinct crater, but man,
I
it
bet
really
that's
is,
Nieper.
It really stands out.
stands out.
Also, our comments on the back side of the moon, where the orbiter photo shows it's really rough and real sharp edges, it wasn't like that at all. It's smoother, a lot smoother.
Extremely
There's lots of
crater filled, but I hate to use the word erosion, but it almost looks like it's extremely crater
like
filled, but it's
weather-beaten.
all weather beaten, all eroded down, all rounded off, with the exception of the very new
Very
craters.
new ones, but the whole thing looks far smoother than what you see in orbit.
And the front side mountains on the other hand look
Pretty rugged.
pretty jagged.
I'm sure that's Nieper,
It's
Tom.
gotta be
But we could-
Nieper and because.
That's gotta be
I bet that's Nieper.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, I don't know.
That was an interesting one, the way the flow patterns had drawn out of there, the ray patterns.
Some of those flow patterns look like somebody done them with a paintbrush. Just
I don't know.
the eye doesn't. None of the films show the kind of things that, as far as being washed on, that we were seeing. Those colors are too brown, too orange. Brown.
Too orange,
Those new craters were almost just bright white.
bright white like chalk.
And none of the orbiter photography shows. None of our orbiter strip maps show the way these bright craters stand out, and I wish we could get that.
Oh, they really
because
stand
they
out.
It really would have helped you identify your location around the moon to emphasize the brightness of those new craters.
Again, now that
I don't know
color,
whether they knew or
except for
what-
the wash out the greens in it, and that color is close. Wash out the greens and the color's close.
Dickens is that?
I don't know, I'm trying to figure that one out. We can find it though, because there's some
Must be a
distinct
backside
craters.
crater.
Distinct.
That looks like backside.
That's backside. There's the
Yeah, we
Maya.
ought to be able to put geologists to work for,
John, you got a line? Oh, that looks like we're coming up to.
Yeah, that's a Trunnius twin.
Trunnius twins, PHK. Yeah, there's Trunnius.
There's a Messier.
Okay, the Messier.
Messier B. We did some star landmark sightings on Messier B when we were, 50, 100,000 miles out from the moon. And it's very easy to do star landmark, picking up those bright rays from the Messier craters there. What's that, Moki? You don't think it is? Got a crease slope in it. Okay, well,
I think it goes less distribution.
Frank by just for the sake of keeping it. So, of course, I'm going to give us white things.
that's gotta be land site too.
Let's see, let me, yeah, it's starting to look like it. That isn't too far from the color from landing, from that area.
What is it, Dick?
49.
Can you, what, is 130 in there?
Yeah, it's, isn't that,
I'm trying to
I
look at
don't know.
129 and
Let me get
130 there. That area right there, those gashes down over on the left, sure looks like it's right at being a landing site too.
Yep, coming from right to left.
From right to left, that's the landing site. That's gotta be Sabine, huh?
It is, it's a Sabine Ritter combination, I think. I'm sure it is, Tom.
I think that's Ritter.
Okay, well, one thing
It's either
is,
Sabine or Ritter, I'm sure.
I think that's Ritter.
one thing that was very obvious to us was because these terraces down in the craters where the walls would slump in and crack in and slide down and leave a terrace, and then it would slide in.
You know, one thing, the new craters seem to be very well depicted by the white stuff that's thrown out, you know. But then you say, what about these sharp edge craters, and are they new, or how new are they? And you know, Tom pointed out very well yesterday on some slides, you can see the fracturing around the edge of a crater. And when these things slump in, if there's any rounding to the crater edges and rims, as soon as they slump, the crater rims become sharp, like they're new craters. You get sharp cliff-like edges every time it slumps. But this doesn't, I don't believe it necessarily means it's a very new crater. It just means that that damn thing has been slumping recently. So where you see rounded craters, where you see a lot of on the backside of the moon, there's little slumping that's been done recently, but on the front side where you see these sharp edges, although the craters may be just as old as they are on the backside, maybe there's more slumping that's going on, and you can see these in all our photos. You can even see the fracturing very well.
In the old spoons, you can see a complete terrace house slumped all the way, and then it's just slowly through the mechanism that has evolved. Evidently, it's where it's becoming rounded. It's the final end product of the slump.
another thing you can see that,
There's
you can't see
Diamondback.
in the photographs is all the boulders. Boy, you could see boulders with the naked eye that don't show up in these pictures, and there is plenty of boulders on that moon.
We were down, it turns out we're 47,000 feet above the mean reference line. And Censorinus is up there in those highlands in the Pyrenees, and I guess we were probably only about, 30-some thousand feet above Censorinus there. And looked over there, and there were the biggest white boulders that had been kicked out of that crater. I mean, I was flabbergasted. And you had some black striations. Again, we're going past like that. I couldn't believe the size of those boulders that had been kicked out of that.
These
crater.
rills are all right in the landing site area. This is all landing site type of territory right here. And that gash right there is probably a couple miles we'll cross. That same picture, from back off.
We're getting up, that's as close to, that's all.
That's the landing site.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
We're-
See,
We
crater
got more
one,
pictures than that than.
that's Sabine E, and that little dot,
Show that, Dick. That's the landing site. Hell, yes, that's a landing site.
I got the map right here, I'll point it out.
Look up there.
You know, I know, we took
We
pictures
took
of that
more
thing, and
pictures
they
of
were
that
just
landing
beginning to
site
see
than
some of them.
stick out.
What was it?
56.
Two, right.
There's where John was marking on.
See if I can show you the left.
Oh, Bob's car.
What frame number is it?
You talk to him?
Okay, this is
That's called Barbara.
the big crater right there. Crater right next to it. This crater right here is site 130. This little yellow, new crater right in the side of it is the crater that I was marking on. I used to make that crater from the optics overhead would fill up a little more than optics reticle. It's probably about 140 feet across. Here's
The guy didn't know how to operate it.
this the landing site is
Those two craters in the
those
right
two
hand
craters
corner.
here at the north edge of the landing site. This is crater 133, which is the crater I wanted to mark on, and this crater right here is the crater in 133 I would have marked on. This little dot right here. The landing site goes like this.
That's Mulkey up there on the other side.
Nope. It's
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Wait.
129 and 130 C.
Just like that.
Yep, yep.
I think you blow that up and get a darn good idea
It
of
won't
what
be
the
down below the bottom.
landing site is
Oh,
like.
6 feet up.
This crater right here is, looks like 2,000-3,000 feet north of the landing site. This here is almost in the center of the landing site. If you put an X right here, you'd be right in the middle of the landing site. This is on the edge of the landing site, this crater right here. Well, I tell you, it's,
Well, let's flag that one for the press conference too, and then we'll do a piece or something.
I'm trying to blow that out.
Let's blow that bear up.
How big an oval is the landing site?
Well, the total one is about 15 miles by 3.
14 by 3.
But I think
It's 10 miles by, according to this drawing, which I don't know how accurate it is,
10 by
it's a
3.
10 by
2 or 3.
2 ellipse.
Again, that's what we had outlined on our maps, and some of the early.
Well, I don't know whether that's the right landing site or not, but
Okay, here we are again, at what,
Same thing, but that pushes you further away from it. The landing site is down at the bottom of that.
the bottom left is the landing site. Let's take a look at that.
That's
so
it.
that's
in it.
much better in the landing
That's the
site.
landing site again. You see
Yeah,
those
it's
two
much
little
better.
craters?
That's more centers the landing site.
You want to take that one instead of the other one?
Yeah, I think that's a better one. Let me point that out to you again.
Bottom center.
Bottom center. You see those two adjacent craters are in the northwest corner of the landing site.
Okay, these three craters here, the landing site goes like so. Goes in here and it comes right around and crosses right through the middle of this crater, 133. Goes out to over in this vicinity here, comes back down, includes this crater right there, in that fashion there.
Yeah, I checked registered mail. I don't get through at all.
We'll call you. I talked to you about last night. I told him about that. It's just low. Put it whatever you like.
What number is that thing?
I do know he's going to go first. They get the full skinny on what's required.
They think they've got this.
All of that is structured.
Yeah.
Maybe a river.
That's Schmidt again.
Yes.
Look at the boulder fields around that route.
Yeah, you know, John, they're about 8 or 10 power on the film. You can really pick those boulders out.
Well, for example, there's one up at the top of your picture, that big rock sitting up there on the edge of the crater. God only knows how big that must be to be able to see it from 60 miles. What is that crater, 10 or 12 miles across? It's not a very big one.
I thought Jack said it was 20 across yesterday.
This is right on the other side of Sabine, Ritter, and here's Schmidt.
We got a much more dynamic shot of that though, looking just about straight down
I see,
in it.
right. Dick, you blew one of those up for us.
There's an even better one than that, Dick, I think.
Didn't you blow one up on one of those slides
Yeah.
for us? And you can see where this one boulder is probably as big as a 5-story building. We can see the track that it made from here where it rolled down, and from 60 miles, we can see the track that boulder made.
And here's a typical crater when you look at the rim very closely where you can see it fracturing where it's gonna slump again. And it has slumped, you can look into it. You got sharp crater rims where it slumped the last time, and you can see all the fractures where, who knows?
Right up beyond the white part up on the north, Dick, show them there. When you pull it up, you can see a bunch of fractures, round curvature fractures up in there, and on the outside, how it's starting to get ready to cave away and go in again. You can see that up in there, you can see where the structure's starting to open up, it's gonna cave away.
Okay, I made a measurement, just a rough measurement, that crater's about 10 miles across.
You can see it's at least 6,000.
But it's a big moose, and it must be
2 miles deep.
Must be 2 miles deep.
2 miles
Yeah,
deep.
that's, son of a gun. What a
What
thing.
one did you blow up that showed the boulder?
This one?
That one there, you can go up there and see the boulders,
You can
man.
see
They're
the
all
boulders
over
from
the
here if
place.
you know what to look for there. Oh, look at that one white one.
A couple more good ones, I think it's a little different angle, let's see it show a little bit better.
These are Snoopy pictures.
Maybe not.
Now, out in this area, this is between landing site 2 and 3. You can see all the volcanic activity there, and those little cones have been popped in there. And the round edge of the crater is strictly a volcanic origin.
Now you got this one and the next one.
There's another typical example of slumping right in there where you get a sharp, defined
You
ridge.
see those ridges out there where the thing is starting to pull apart and start to let go again? And again, as soon as, you can tell when the slumping had taken place because all that was the new white chalky materials.
And some of that stuff looked like somebody had taken well, it looked just like it had a recent landslide on it, and you could really see it with the naked eye
You
where
can see
the
where
thing
it's
is
scarred.
scarred down,
when it
scarred
cut
down
loose.
and just worked smooth down the sides.
Mhm.
Look at that.
Okay, now look at that fracturing around where it's getting ready to cut loose there. See that?
Where is that? That must be in the vicinity of Godin, maybe.
That's Schmidt right there.
No,
No,
it's-
no,
Isn't that still Schmidt?
no, it's too wide a curvature.
I reckon that's Godin, but I don't know.
No, Sabine and Ritter don't have that,
Sabine and Ritter was smoother than that.
that distinct slumping in it.
What about the jump at the bottom?
Okay, to jump to the bottom again, it's this talus, the slide, so you can see it there, and you can see those boulders on top of the talus. You can even see the boulders from here, see that stuff?
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
spots right here look like boulders here.
Yeah.
Okay, hold your finger up there.
Down at the
Herb,
bottom of the,
Herb, put your, go about 6 inches up in those tailings. Okay, to the right.
right, yeah.
Okay, see those?
See
Yeah,
those
those
big
boulders.
Those are huge boulders down there.
And it just looked like the whole thing is slumped off.
Slumped down, and the result, you had the soft material, then you had those big boulders.
So what's the rest of the stuff between the boulders?
Well, again, that had all turned a light tan color, just like the old surface material. And
I'd
when the thing had cut
I
loose,
reckon that's part of the landslide features.
it looks like the way it slumped down in series, it's like a
That moon
terrace
must
down
not have
below
any
there.
sheer strength or any,
It has very little
Well,
shear
the funny
strength.
thing is that there's just a few boulders with a lot of other stuff. Now, what the hell is the other stuff?
You almost get the feeling that that slumping occurred with a creeping action rather than with a big dynamic
Dynamic,
landslide, as if it creeped rather than went kaploom.
Are you familiar with rock glaciers that are simply the creep of talus piles moving down in many mountainous areas? This is how they get
That
this.
might be
That
it.
Because
could
you
be.
feel that if this was a dynamic landslide, that you wouldn't have the pudding consistency you got down there. It'd just be a lot more loose, unraveled material. But you see, this stuff sort of has come down together, and then some of these boulders seem to have rolled across the top of it.
We're right in the middle of it, mixed
You know,
up.
it's unfortunate that the camera won't show this, but of course we could see the whole bottom of that
You see-
entire crater. You
in the
can see
shadow.
everything in there, and by gosh, we can't get it on film.
We could see down in that shadow, and there's just another terracing in there, in the bottom there, in those shadows.
And also you can see the ground on the other side of that shadow. It's one of these days we come up with a camera with dynamic enough range to catch all that stuff.
Again,
A lot more data.
here was at the edge of that crater, I think. We'd shot this over at the edge to look at some of those boulder fields, because you could, in the shadows there, you could really see those boulders stand out. Gosh, they're all over the place. Just a tremendous boulder field.
I tell you, that's a fascinating place, that like anything.
And this is Lake the Terminator out in that area. And again, one thing, besides the impactors you could see around there, this whole area was just marked with what you could ascertain as volcanic.
Looked like cones.
Cones, just cones all over the place. That's between Schmidt out in that area and over towards landing site
Of
3.
course, you never have guys less qualified to comment. That's what it was like.
Now, those are all boulders out there.
Yeah, see those down on the edge? But the one thing that impressed me on that one Sensorine is there were big boulders on the inside and the outside. We're just kind of laying up on it. You had at least a 25 to 30 degree slope. There were boulders up on the inside slope besides the outside where it ramped over to the side.
You talked about the boulders near landing site 2. Is the surface density of boulders greater at landing site 2 or greater here?
Oh, no, far greater there.
I see.
In landing site 2, in the site itself, we couldn't hardly ascertain any boulders, craters. But
It
no-
is a
no-
shame that we can't doctor those things so we could see what's going on down in there, because with the naked eye,
Just like
no
that, you-
trouble at all seeing down
We had
there.
no problem seeing down in there.
There is some interest in possibly flying a high-speed film and just exposing for the bottom of those craters and letting the normal sunlight wash out. I guess would be it.
Well,
Could be.
like in Earthlight, I'm sure that guys can take complete photography of the moon with low light level film and get
Absolutely.
the whole damn thing, because I could
Oh,
see through the telescope, I could see large terrain features
with such precision that, for example, on a reel, I know that I could attract that for landmark tracking through the telescope in Earthlight.
I said, I was always going to be disappointed not to see Copernicus, it's going to be nighttime, but once we got over in Earthshine, gee, there was Copernicus and those rays for hundreds of miles all over. It was
I
kind
think
of a
somebody,
bluish
I think somebody ought
white.
to carry a high-speed film and get all that stuff. Shoot, it's there for the taking.
Shoot the film. But Copernicus really stood out in nighttime. To me, the
Oh, you thought of that already.
nighttime, the Earthshine was bluish white.
Yeah, the Earthshine gives certain features sort of a luminescent glow to them.
It was kind of a bluish white, grayish, luminescent glow at night when Earthshine, and those rays from Copernicus really stood out.
Well, it may be that the old moon just reflects the kind of light it gets. A lot.
I'm sure there's a lot to that.
Oh, this is a,
That's Langrenus, I think.
sure looks, again, look at the terraces. You see the terraces on the far
I
side?
think so, because it's got that big spread out central peak. I
Yeah, it's
think it
got the big
is.
center peak. Look how white that peak is on top, and the film doesn't do that whiteness justice on it.
It's whiter than the thing it is.
It's white.
Tan.
There's some pictures of impact craters that, that's not chalk or something close to it. It sure looks chalky.
Last stretch.
Why don't we have this one of Langrenus there, Gino?
We've got a good one, Langrenus, upstairs, I
Yeah, that's
thought.
black and white, so this brings out some of the details. Just to look at.
Is this the only one? What's next on it reel?
I don't know
No,
for the
okay.
scientific evaluation, but to me, I can see more
Let's
details in
take that
that
out.
color film
Let's take
than I
that
can in black and white. And then maybe for analysis, black and white comes out
You want to
better.
use any of those of the boulders on that bridge back there?
Yeah.
Well,
Numbers for those?
you can see those real well on Schmidt, though. Schmidt shows those real well.
The boulders and Schmidt. But the one blow up we had of Schmidt had all the greens in it, and we don't have the greens. What we had in that one slide there didn't have any greens in it at all, around Schmidt.
That's about the right color now.
That's getting close to it, a little lighter than that. Tan. Now, right there, that's, you see the slumping down in that crater? The sides of that crater is darn near correct. You knock out the greens around it, and you have the older surface area, and just maybe a little bit lighter than that, that's the tan color we get described. Here's a good one, it just picks up the horizon out there.
Sure, rough surface. Oh, there's a great picture. What's that?
Mars and Antares, you can see the
That's
rest.
after you ran out of film, so.
We have that one. I think we already have a slide of that. That's when we shot John station keeping.
I wonder if any of the solar corona pictures came out. Did you ever see any solar corona? Did you ever?
Oh,
Huh?
where would they be? You give us a.
What do we we took one or
We
two
might have
pictures
just
of
broken off
it.
the blanks.
Sunrise in the dark.
No, we took a series of I took specifically a series of about a half dozen pictures of the solar corona.
Would you use black and white? I can't do it.
I don't know whether I used black and white or not, but it would have been before. I don't know when the hell it was.
Before sunrise or after sunset?
The command module's only about 100
Yeah.
feet away right now.
They're all sunrise pictures.
Look how far away it looks.
Two little things to the right.
They're there, you're not.
They're not there now. They went off to the right. Yeah.
That's nice.
There's getting close to the surface of the, again, that color you see out there is real close to the surface color. That's close to it, except the greens aren't.
Back up one, will you, a minute?
Just around on the backside, coming across, right after undocking, coming across the backside.
Can you flag that one and maybe blow it up? It's a little bit different angle than that other one.
Yeah, I like the next one, it shows that high gain antenna, how big it is.
So good 3/8 inch too.
This one is right, and this has two green.
Pretty good picture too.
That's a good picture, except there's no greens in it.
You guys did a lot better getting me than I did at getting you.
We had bigger windows than two guys.
It looks like the command module's a long way away, but it's probably about 15 feet away.
It's reflection of it, but it's shiny too.
Right, the separation.
So here's where you had camera trouble.
Yeah,
No, well,
I had camera trouble with that color film, son of a.
not following Snoopy, or not following Charlie Brown pictures.
Got 20-some blanks.
Yeah, remember I kept having those jams?
Oh, that could be.
I
yeah.
kept having these jams and it wouldn't work, and that's just before the Hasselblad failed. I mean, it was leading up to the failure.
Dickens is that?
Something crazy.
Same one we got, right? This beginning of low pass.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Pick a good one out of here to flag too, just after it comes up.
Can you, I think what we should have done, instead of having F8 at 11 with the Earth coming up, we should have gotten, maybe put it at F8. Of course, the Earth might have been washed out. Would have been better for the surface.
That's pretty good.
I want to pick a good one here, Dick, like maybe that one where it just came up.
Let's out over the Mario. There we go.
How about right in there?
That one?
One thing that amazed us is how the Earth comes up. You know, like you see the sun come up slowly and the moon comes up. It just comes up, boom, it's there. You know, it just within a few seconds it's there. We have it in movies.
Same way with sunset and sunrise, instant daylight and instant
Boom.
darkness.
Well, they do.
3890.
389.
The funny effect there, it looks like there's a dark band on the surface of the moon.
Right?
It's the Terminator and the Earth is parallel.
This is at 60 miles, I'm sure, Dick.
Starting down.
Down though.
Yeah, I don't know if we didn't take any pictures of the Earth when we were starting down because
No.
we didn't have time. And look at the horizon. The horizon is
Pretty
yeah,
flat.
it is pretty flat. Come to think of it.
I can't remember.
You don't. What order do you have these in? You don't have them in any special order.
Was it in the order?
You don't have them in the order they were taken.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
How do you know what order they were taken in?
I started to find it.
Advance in the camera.
Oh, this is the same magazine.
Yeah. It's gotta be in order you
It's
took.
got to be in order time.
This is the same magazine.
This is the second.
But okay. But if
The, that's 70 millimeter stuff there, that's pretty good size, 80 millimeter, pretty good size. Everybody said the moon looked small. It never, I mean, the Earth looked small when you looked
So
at it.
you're-
It never
you're-
looked small to me. It looked like a,
see, we didn't take
up
these.
over the horizon, it looked like it was about a foot
We didn't
away.
take Earth pictures like this from the land.
Yeah,
We took a bunch of.
right in the sequel.
Yeah, you did.
I don't know when we had time.
Kept an eye on
All
that.
one series, the clouds are exactly the same.
Okay, I remember taking some of the Earthrise from the land, but okay, go
Like,
ahead.
I don't remember taking those pictures of you guys coming in on the ascent stage either. I don't remember taking a single one of those.
Okay, I guess I'll buy that.
Okay, that must be, that's landing site 3 looking with Bruce and Lag.
That's Bruce's flag.
That's from Lem.
No, that's from the.
That's from the command module, doggone it. We didn't get landing site 3 from the land.
Landing site 3 is in darkness.
Those last pictures of the Earth were taken with the 250 lens, I think.
Well, if they were taken from the command module.
That's what I was thinking, because of that
We
back,
didn't take those pictures.
the back had a slide that started to jam, and I kept having problems with the.
See, well, yeah,
Just when you lost it.
what we did, we took the remaining pictures on a 70 millimeter mags that we had from the LEM. When we got back in the command module, we took those, we finished taking them in a command module, so that doesn't necessarily mean that this is all LEM stuff. There was
That
a-
had to be the last couple of reds there.
yeah, this was the last couple of res, and I think the break in that particular magazine was after we took Snoopy pictures, and then Tom put a black and white magazine there for the descent.
Okay, in real time, what happened was I was taking these pictures and I ran out of film and I had to change to a color back because we were going to shoot landing site 3 in black and white, and right about in here I ran out of film on a black and white, and it cuts like the Dickens, and changed it back, and we went on in and took it in color. Remember that?
Dick, I figured out, I think that those pictures, the Earthrise were taken on Res 24, with that.
They were taken from the command mods, and I'll tell you when we stopped using that magazine right there in the LEM was after the Snoopy pictures, because we were going on down for the descent, and our plan was to take those in 70 millimeter black and white. And Tom put a black and white back on at that time.
Yeah.
There's a series of black and white pictures preceding us into the landing site. We're taking the breaks into the landing site and ran out of film right about here.
Well, that was from the
And I
command
really
module.
sweating it
That was
because I
from the
figured
command
we're going to lose landing site 3.
And to make it simple, of course, then you took the same magazine and used the LEM, used it in the.
Oh, the same, no, what we did, we took those magazines, if they still had some film on them, we took them back in the command module and snapped them all out.
Confused the hell out of us ever since it happened.
I can tell you where the break was in this one. The last Snoopy, the last picture of Charlie Brown that was taken from the LEM is the LEM break. That was when we switched to a black and white back in the LEM for the low pad.
Let me ask you a question. Are you getting more resolution out of the black and white than you are the color for analysis of the terrain?
On Apollo 8, no. It sort of appears that you do, but I think it's the same reason that you get an enhancement from, like color IR film on the Earth and so forth. That it gives you more variations in color and tone on a given picture, but when you really check resolution, you don't have more resolution.
Well, I don't know what that sun angle is here, but it isn't very much. Maybe 8 degrees, 6 degrees, 7 degrees.
Is that color, my friend?
That's color. Well, the color's too much.
There's a little green in there that doesn't appear.
Okay. Yeah, site 3 is up there, right
Yeah.
below that ridge.
You want to flag this for you, Prescott?
No, that doesn't show it very good. We got a better one. Here, we're getting there. A land site 3 is still up, and there's an even better one than that. That's center.
That's better there.
That's center. Whoa, back up
Back
one.
up.
That's the one we want. That's the one that
Is there any way you
shows
can, that could be
landing site
printed without
3
the greens?
Without the greens. Let me show you where landing site 3 is. Boy, that's a rough one.
Landing site 3 is the rough side?
Sure looks rough.
Plus you're landing right into the hills in front of you. It's like landing on a runway with a cliff at the end.
3907.
Okay, here's the ridge. It goes right below land site 3, right here. See these little craters here? On our map, it says that Surveyor 6 is right on this ridge, right about here. Right about here. I didn't see Surveyor 6. That's where our map says it is. It's over in here somewhere, actually. Landing site 3, this is site 150, which we did landmark tracking on. And I'm not really sure that we did landmark tracking on it because we had a very low sun angle. And this set grouping of 3 craters right here looks amazingly to me like this grouping of craters right here. And I didn't study this damn land site as much as I probably should have prior to landmark tracking. That was in for a 20-hour day, and I ain't really gonna make a hell of a This landing site encompasses right along the edge of that ridge these 3 craters at the back side of it, and it goes about like that. And that's a rough site. Boy, I mean, hey, there's all kinds, you can see from this picture, there's all kinds of holes.
Where would you want it? It all looks rough.
Did you look for Surveyor 6 with binoculars?
No, sir, we couldn't do that. We had the spacecraft pointed, so we're tracking it with the optics and.
With the sextant at the time?
No, sir, because it's a heck of a long ways in the sextant from crater 150 to Surveyor 6. It just, fact is, in the sextant, the in a sextant, and I didn't use a sextant, I used a telescope because the sun contrast, shadows were so great I couldn't use it. So we didn't have a pass specifically to look for surveyor sticks.
These are when we started leaving the moon. We took a series of these pictures as we were climbing out.
I think that's pretty true color. I think it is.
There, that gets to be true. There's Tchaikovsky or whatever his name is. Tsiolkovsky.
Boy, that's some crater.
These guys wrote songs.
They got visions up there as well.
Tchaikovsky.
Okay, you can see Langrenus. You're looking right down at the landing site. You can see Langrenus, Censorinus, our path right across the Maria. Is this a? Okay, there's Langrenus right there. We came where the Censorinus is right there, and our track was right through here. Isn't that right, John? Right through there. There's some better pictures. We'll show it to you a little bit better.
That's on the order of the color. My golly.
That's the tracker.
Yeah. There's Mari Christian.
There's Langrenus up there again. Keep going. We got some better ones that show our track real good across. The slides we had for the debriefing were excellent for showing the track across. We just wanted to show how round the moon was getting. This all happened within about 3 hours, from 60 miles to having the moon as round as our hatch window.
How's that color?
Looks good to me.
Pretty close to me. Pretty close.
Trying to match over there.
Pretty close to me. You can almost tint it with your own eyeball. You know, it's so subtle that it shades towards a tan, but you can almost talk yourself out of that. You can almost tint it with your eyeball. You can identify in all these pictures pretty well the track.
And the camera's not deceiving on this. The camera shows you as we got some pictures of the Terminator, how it darkens up.
Well, we could lots of show our track. Okay, now let me find where the heck we are. You know, I had this all pinpointed out yesterday. Now where the heck are we? That's Langrenus right there. And that's Langrenus right there. And I'm trying to think. Is that Censorinus?
Picture doesn't show it.
There's a better one here.
There's some better ones with a little more contrast in where you can see it very clearly.
You can see Messier and Messier coming through right there. See those, John?
Yeah.
And Langrenus sits here. Okay, we came across right through.
Keep going.
There's
a
better
real
ones.
good one.
There's Censorinus right there, and there's Langrenus, and our path basically brought us right through here. But there's still better ones than that. Well, here's better ones, but here's Langrenus, here's Censorinus, and here's what we call the Apollo Ridge, right through here. And we came basically right across, down and through here. The landing site area is right in here, and then landing site 3 is around the corner a little bit. But there's still better
Starting to
pictures.
see some Terminator creep over from the right edge of your.
See that the definition becomes much more distinct.
Let me show you something that people said we wouldn't be able to see with the naked eye. It's just like
Okay, right through here, there's Censorinus, Apollo Ridge. There's the Messier and Messier, which has got distinct rays that go in this direction, that direction, and that way. And we came right across, in, through in here. And there's a landing site right in there.
If you come up close to this thing, you really see it. This difference in the Mario, the difference in the Mario. This is just, boy, it really hits you right between the eyes. This Mario right here, it's different stuff. Then this flow pattern that goes right in here. Also, you got some different colors in there. It shows up really much clearer on that special color film that we took some pictures of. People said you wouldn't be able to see this, and man, the distinction, the naked eye just gets you right. Just really gets to you.
Are you saying one Mario is different from the other one?
Yes, sir, go take a look at it.
I can see it from here, and that's not an exposure effect.
No, sir.
No, that was, remember when we had it on live TV, first time we could really see a contrast and I shot the TV on it?
The TV showed it up very well.
TV showed it very well and you could see
That's,
how.
boy, it's, that line is
So this time here
delineated,
between
and
those two, it
you ought
just
to be able
hits you
to
in the
plot it
face.
within a couple of miles. And it, you know, it's real weird because that flow there, there must be a flow bench associated with it.
But you could
Yeah,
sure
there's
see
some
that-
that you can even see them better on. Yeah. But you can
It's
see
very
it.
strange that that Mario would be a central place entirely different than that other one. It looks like the basin was filled up with something.
But the line is very sharp. It goes sort of follows the perimeter of that
You
particular
see how it
Mario.
flows around to the left, or the dark material flows to the left.
So you can see it better right in here, right in that area right there, all the way around.
And you can look at the whole business has evidence of that other central sea there. I don't know which one it is, but it has evidence of different colors
Yeah.
in it too.
And Messier and Messier, which has got these craters going, they're elongated craters, two of them side by side, and it's got rays going that direction, and then one going in that direction. Is very distinctively
This
visible.
picture doesn't really show it, but those doggone rays go all the way across the moon.
Yeah, they really take off.
And our path again is coming. There's Langrenus right there, and our path takes us right down through. Here's Apollo Ridge, right down. There's Censorinus, right down over here, and the landing site sits right in there. Moki sits right down in there.
But there's no doubt, and I tried to get a color that would describe it, and I'd said that, let me have it, you know. I said that at the time, it's awful hard, but that kind of looks like a light chocolate milkshake, and that looks more chocolate.
Browner.
And there's no doubt about the difference in colors between them.
Boy, if it isn't brown, it's we got some tinting on the windows or something. That's what it was.
Now look at this. See here, look at your horizon down here, and now look at the Terminator horizon start to come in, and look what even at this sun angle, at this small amount of Terminator, what the shadows begin to do for you.
Really make that relief stand. Boy, that's a rough cut.
So with that rest map, you know, each half rev, we could see the moon, the earth, the sun out each.
Yeah, they had to be. They had to be.
What the difference is that? The special color film?
That's too brown, is it?
Too brown, too dirty.
A little too brown to me.
And our landing site track again came right across. There's Langrenus. You can just see it right there. And our landing site track, Apollo Ridge is right there, and our landing site track came right through there.
And you get
Censorinus
further
is
away
right
from those
there.
Maria, they just start turning like that color, black, you know.
But again, the basic color there was like the one just before, Dick. Stick the one before. Can you go back, please? Right there. That basic color was the color of all that highland area around the moon. Maybe a little bit lighter. It's a dirty color, light tan. It may have a little too orange in it. And we photographed that bear all the way back.
Great picture.
There was a focus problem there, I assume.
Think of that over blurred.
Subject moving.
Just as well those pictures didn't turn out.
Most of those were taken at 1 second, by the way,
1 second.
Oh, inside the spacecraft.
inside the
Oh,
spacecraft.
inside, yeah.
So we just shot alternately the Earth and the Moon all the way back.
About the same angle there, wasn't it? Same angle. The Earth and the Moon are about the same.
Oh, the other side, yeah.
What lens were you using here?
250 the whole time. Now the Earth's starting to get bigger. moon's getting smaller. We're just getting closer to home.
Somebody could figure out what the GET is on this, and we didn't keep book on it.
I have the GET for the Earth picture.
Well, the moon would be the same.
We're shooting the moon just the same.
There's your double storm.
Yeah, coming up over Alaska. That gets very definitive.
Were you recording data on tape while you were taking pictures too?
We did a lot of live voice transmission.
I don't know what color that is. That ain't it.
That's probably out my window, Mr. Terry. No, at times the clouds look like that. Remember at times in certain conditions? You want to look at that spatial color film? Or you not? Oh, you don't have it, okay. Let's take a look at the movies.
Is that the whole batch of everything we got?
On the color. Except
Color.
the photo color.
Okay.
They're still working on it.
I'll see this.